Hello. Hello. Can everyone hear me? Can everyone hear me okay? Awesome. I don't know. I don't know how audible I am right now. But hello. Um hello. Hello? Why is this? Hello? Can you guys still hear me? Here, let me make sure. Still works? Hello, what's up Shabo Train 1345? Just want to make sure this audio is working. Can you guys hear that? Can you guys hear the logic session? This is what I was having an issue with before. Hello. Let me know if that logic session that I just played was audible. 'Cause I can't. Mic could be turned up a bit. Okay, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try something else. Is this a little bit better? Can you guys hear me a little bit better? I'm gonna just not use that microphone, I think. Is this better? And can you hear the logic session? If answers to that question are yes, you should be in business. Sometimes. Awesome. Better? Cool. That's what I like to hear. Okay. I can now see the chat on my phone. It's a lot better also. Okay, cool. Let's do this thing. So hi. I'm Daniel, which you guys know, I think. But yeah, I wrote and produced these songs called Believe and Good Times. And I'm really excited to show them to you today in a little bit more depth. So right here, as I have open, you guys can see I have the logic session for Believe open. And you'll notice, if you've been here for a while, that it's kind of a smaller session than normal. There's not as much going on. There's not a ton of tracks. There's 47 tracks, as to my usual probably 147 tracks, like you'll see in Good Times. I don't know if Good Times has that many, but it has a lot. So yeah, it's going to be kind of interesting going through these two sessions because they're very different. This Believe's probably not going to take too long, but still there's some cool things that I want to show you guys for sure. So let's get right into it. Thank you guys for joining me on this beautiful Sunday morning. Let's do it. So, I actually don't know if this made it to the final mix or not, but this was, I'd have to check, but this was like kind of what played like leading into that piano part. There's this little, I think it's either just really quiet in the new mix now, or we might have taken it out because it didn't really, it was a little out there. And then, yeah, come in with that piano and synth right away. Sometimes I lie awake. And my vocal. So let's go into this a little bit. This piano, which I believe stays consistent throughout the entire song. I think I played in mostly one take, as you can see, besides the end part. Uh, Also, a lot of the vocals were recorded in just one sitting. Obviously, here there's a little bit of more splicing, but for the most part, it's very little vocal takes. A way more simpler production. This is the piano part. Pinio. This is the piano part. So I wrote this song. I want to say like 5 years ago. It was one of the, I think it was the first like ballad actually I think I'd ever written. Um, and yeah, it's always kind of stuck with me. I was never gonna put it out until recently. I kept on showing I kept on showing it to people for some reason, and people were like, "Why haven't you released this yet? Like, why have you been sitting on this for so long?" I'm like, I don't know. I, it wasn't always my favorite song, but I kind of have grown to like it more and more. So yeah, it's kind of weird how that can happen, but yeah. Started out just me and piano, so I think that's the first thing I actually recorded. Um, and this piano sound is three different pianos. It is a complete control um, ragtime piano sound. I love this sound. Very cool sound, very old timey sound. I love that. Then we've got this Labs piano, which I'm sure those of you that are producers know this, but for those of you that might not be producers, very helpful tip. Spitfire Audio makes a ton of really awesome free, or if they're not free, super cheap plugins for live instruments, sampled instruments, and they're great. Also, just a super nice company to talk with and like work with if you have any issues. So yeah, I would highly recommend. Highly recommend. So Labs piano, which I use that in a lot of things, and then another ragtime piano. Um, Not sure what the difference is between those two, but they're both there for some reason or another. Um, yeah, I didn't realize that there were two of those. So yeah, that might have honestly been a mistake on my end. I just didn't notice, but it sounds cool. So I might have just that was probably just a screw up on my part, but it sounds really cool. So who knows? So yeah, it's a mixture, I guess, between those two sounds, not three sounds. That's really funny. This muted track here is reference drums because I had an idea for having drums in the song, and this is just like stupid like MIDI for it. But I don't think that's ever gonna happen. It didn't really sound good. Maybe if we like do the song live or something. You're on a boat right now. That's so cool. Definitely go do that. Yeah, this will be posted afterwards. Alright, then after that piano comes in, we've got this synth, which is also from Complete Control. Just super cool, super dreamy. Let me turn this up a little. It was really quiet in the mix, but it still adds a lot of flavor and depth. It's super cool. And also this other synth that comes in, which is just a lower synth, um, a much lower synth that sounds like this. It's kind of cool. Got that too, which is also quieter in the mix. So it sounds maybe a little bit more like this in the mix. This is all I can take. And then going into that part, we have this nice little just a yeah, that was kind of loud. Sorry. Let me know if my mic's like cutting in and out. Is this better? Is this a little less like distorted? Sorry. I'm so sorry about that. Uh, yeah. I'm sorry if you've had your volume up this whole time. That was probably painful. All right, and then other things start to come in. Really quickly, I'll go over my vocal chain in this song. It's very simple. We've got a 2 BQ um, that is just has a little bit warmer settings than usual. Um, uh, this is actually this EQ right here is a very standard EQ for what I usually do on my vocal on most songs. It usually looks something like this. Compressors also will usually look like this on most songs for me. And we've got a limiter as well on my vocals. So this is a very basic chain that I use on most songs. Only real difference with this song is I took the 2 BQ right here and I made it a little bit warmer, which is what I love about this plugin is even when you make something brighter with it, it still has that warmth to it. It's such a great plugin, and it's a Logic stock plugin. It's awesome. It's such a good EQ. Highly recommend it if you haven't used it before, and if you're on Logic, it's awesome. Vintage 2 BQ, pristine. Um, yeah, that's my first on all of my vocal tracks, as you can see. And yeah, I don't know if you can see this little corner here where all the EQs are, but some of the vocals like this one here is brighter. These two here are recorded to be a lot brighter, so they stand out a little bit more. This one here is a little bit warmer because we have two vocals going at the same time. I'll get to that later in the song. But yeah, we have two vocals going on at the same time. So at that point in you have to think with a mixing head, as cool as you want to be creative and have two completely different verses going at the same time. I kind of had to think from a mixing standpoint as well, like how doable is this, and what do I have to do to like make it sound good? And basically, it is really important that I learned that I had to EQ each vocal right to like make it kind of sound cohesive. So EQing is very important. EQing is very important, even in a pre mixing phase. It's very important. Um, I will get to that, and I will get to that and more on that later. Now strings come in. How to make the heart break. That's that. Then we have more strings here. Then we go into that part, which I'll go into in a second. Yeah, it is a pretty vibe. It's actually a viola, or violas, these are all Logic sounds, but I have since manipulated them to sound a little bit better. But as you can see, these cellos I just changed the EQ on a little bit. These cellos I absolutely changed the EQ on and added a ring shift. So wait, these actually sound cool on their own. So this cello is actually going between your ears. And it's also running through a sample delay, so you're getting that extra stereo in your ears. So it's super cool. And then we've got a TDR Nova on it, which is a compressor and EQ. So it's a multi-band compressor, which basically compresses each frequency you want it to separately, which is really cool. Because sometimes certain frequencies need to be compressed more than others, and it's nice to have that option. Yeah, and I'll get into that bigger string part in a moment. What else do we have that comes in? No matter how hard I believe. We have that fat 808 that comes in. Yeah, I I still I had a live bass originally actually playing that. I don't know if it's still in the session. I don't think it is, but it actually might have been in a different session. But I originally had a live bass, like playing what the bass line was, um, and it felt just very not impactful. And in my head, I was like, I'll try an 808. I just don't want it to be like that song. Like, doesn't need an 808. Like can you go one song without adding a fucking 808? And which I definitely can. But a lot of the newer stuff doesn't have any 808s, sadly. but it has a lot of live bass, which is cool. Um, it's still really cool though. But there's also still a lot of 808s. But there's a lot of live bass as well on the new stuff. But with this, I also kind of wanted to because over the past few months I've been tweaking it obviously to make it as good as possible for the deluxe release of the flip side, and I wanted it to blend with the sound also of the flip side and um, have its place in it, especially in closing out the era that is the flip side. I wanted to do that with, I guess, I wanted to do it right. I don't want to just do it to do it. Um, which is why I think I didn't just do it a couple months ago. Not that I was just doing it to do it a couple months ago, but I knew what I wanted to do and I knew that there was a purpose behind it. I just had to find the drive and reason behind that purpose to get me going to do it. So I'm glad I did, because I'm very proud of the final product. And yeah, so I think that was kind of the main inspiration for adding the 808 was just kind of wanting to blend um, the worlds together, because I feel like sonically, Believe could be a very flip side part. I tried to do this with both the new production on Good Times and Believe, which I'll get more into the Good Times in a moment. But with Believe and Good Times, I wanted to find a good sonic level, to capture them on that would kind of fuse the two worlds together well. And I hope I did a decent job of that. I hope. So we have, yeah, all that comes in. Then we have some guitars come in. So there's an LFO on the guitar, and what that yeah, so that's essentially the guitar for the most part. Oh, and this at the end. Yet very effective. Um, and then there's more synths. I forgot. I already showed you guys this synth. But with this synth comes in this synth. Okay, so that's a really cool sound. Um, There's another synth. I don't know what they are. That's cool. That's also cool. I forget a lot of things I do in these. And let's see what this third synth here is. Okay. A way more like string synth, a way more classic synth. Okay. Forgot about these, honestly. Sounds like a glass bottle. Yeah. Actually, that sound like I think. Oh, that sound is called marbles in a glass bowl. So that makes sense. Yeah, that is that. And then we have this orchestral part, which is all MIDI strings, and it sounds like this. Fun. Strings, that's probably my favorite thing to do ever. There's also this timpani. I forgot about this. That is buried underneath all of that. It's kind of cool. Has a lot of reverb on it. Is what it sounds like without reverb. Cool. That's that. Trying to think what else there is in this section to show you guys. Oh yeah, the end part. Right. Sometimes I Those are the strings in the outro part. What else? Did anything else come in? Oh, okay. I think this is it. For what else? I think this is it for what else is going to come in. I think it's just these synths here. Oh, what the fuck? That was a fucking weird noise and choice to make, but made it for a reason. Um, What the fuck did I smoke when I was producing this? I want some of it right now. The hell? Alright, I didn't realize how long this would take. Should I do the second song in a separate stream? I thought I was going to go through this session a lot faster. But that's pretty much it. Unless anyone has any questions or anything. Thank you. I'm glad you think it sounds good. Maybe I'll do Good Times just on a separate live stream. Maybe that's the best way to do this, because I went kind of a little bit more in. I guess there was just more to go over through this than I thought. It took me a little bit longer. I don't want to go through Good Times in depth. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Does that sound good? So maybe that would work. I don't know. Cool. All right. I think that settles it then. Thank you all for watching today. This was the Believe session. And yeah, oh, there was one more thing I wanted to go over before this was done. And if you have any questions, definitely let me know. All right, so what I wanted to go over really quick was the EQ on these two tracks. Okay, last thing I wanted to go over really quick was just the difference in these two EQs. So the main thing was just not having when you have two vocals going at the same time, especially like when it's like the same vocalist and the same vocal tonality like going at each other. A lot of it is gonna tend to lie on that same frequency range. So basically finding the best ways to avoid that is through EQ for sure. And yeah, so as you can see, these EQs are a tad, just a touch different. There's a bit more boost in the mid sections here and a bit more boost in the high sections here. Some more lower end on this one here. So, and all together, that was fucking loud. That hurt my ears. I'm gonna have repercussions from that. Sometimes I know they all meant something. Yeah. So it works. You can understand both vocals and hear them, which is cool. I don't know what else there's to go over, so. No matter how hard I believe. What the fuck? That vocal is supposed to be over a measure. Where did that happen? So yeah, that originally was over a measure. It went right into bum, no matter how hard I believe. But then me and Jackson were mixing it, and he goes, "It needs the pause." That was the last thing we did on the song. Um, probably I want to say like years I've been working on this song, and then I brought it to Jackson in the mixing, and then I just never thought to just take that pause, and it was so effective, and it sounds so cool. No matter how hard I believe. We end with just piano and this little bit of guitar. And then it ends on the piano. That's it. Thank you guys so much for watching today. That was Believe. We did it. Yeah. Any questions? Woo! Iron. Woo. All right. If there are no questions, or if there are, you can always DM me. My Instagram handle is in the description. Please reach out to me on Instagram. Follow me. I'm constantly posting updates there. So that's the place. That's the place to find the updates. Link in the description. Listen to the songs too. That would make my day. One question. All right, I got one question. What do I want for lunch? It's a really good question. I'm starving now, so let's figure that out. All right, everyone have a fantastic day. Thanks for watching. I know some people had to go earlier, but thank you to those people too who are going to watch the rest of this.